George and some friends are going to a soccer game for his birthday. They call an Uber and pay $23 to go to the game, and they also pay $23 to return home. Tickets to the game cost $287. His friends decide George doesn't need to pay for the Uber since it is his birthday. If each friend pays $48.67, how many friends went to the game with George? All right, so this is a real world problem. So we can solve this using the typical idea of real world is going to include the first quadrant, and unless it's dealing money with negatives, we're not going to have anything outside this first quadrant. That's why I'm just kind of drawing the first quadrant here. And we need to determine in this problem what refers to the x and the y. Well, all I see in here are George and friends. They talk about some different things that are going, but the things that could change are the number of friends and the price values. So price is the dependent, friends are the independent. All right, we don't know how many friends we have, so I'm going to just say x equals friends. I'll put that there. And so, and we have money here. We know that each friend pays $487. That kind of is telling you that each x pays $48.67. And so that's a y value. Y equals $48.67. Since that's the money, it goes on the y-axis, not on the friends. It's not saying you have 48.67 friends. It's saying you have $48.67. Now, we just need to get the rest of the equation. So 90% of the problems are pre-calculus. If you have this, you have enough information because they give you an equation. This, they don't. We got to determine what it is. So let's look at rational. This is, of course, going to be called rational, which means rational in the real world usually comes from when you have some type of price and you divide it by the number of people that are present, you get what's called an average cost. Now, that's how we use rationals in the real world. This is a real-world rational problem. So we have, for an Uber here, that's not how you spell Uber. Let's try that again. For an Uber, you have a $23 plus $23, which equals, and I forgot the dollar sign, which equals a $46 total trip. Now, how many people pay for this? It says, so here's where I'm getting these values. 23 to go, 23 to return home. So that's where this 23 plus 23. His friends decide George doesn't need to pay for the Uber. So it's just the friends who are paying for that. But there's another cost in here. There's more than the Uber. There's also the tickets to the game. Now, tickets is real simple. That amount was $287. Now, as far as we know, they make George pay for this. So it's not just x paying for this, it's now 1 plus x, where 1 plus x refers to, this is George, and x would be, again, friends. So that's how I'm coming up with this equation. So now I have this equation, and all this needs to equal that average cost of $48.67. Now I have my equation. So I'm going to do the graphing technique. I'm going to graph these two as my first equation. So I go to graphs. We had a $46 cost paid for by X number of friends. And we also had a $287 ticket cost paid for George and his friends. Again, it didn't say anything about his friends paying for George's ticket, so I do George and friends. That's what 1 plus x refers to. Now we have that average cost, that y value, which is $48.67. I want to check this to make sure I'm exactly right on that value. Was it $48.67 that they each paid? Yeah, $48.67. I press enter. Now I can't see the intersection because the graph's not high enough. They're going to cross at $48.67, so I'm just going to make this go up to 50. And we've also learned I can drag the screen just by holding down. You hold down with the center button and drag it over. I cannot have negative friends, so on this one, I'm not going to go off of this value. And if you insolve, that's the answer to give you. I want this one over here because it's real world. I'm only concentrating on the first quadrant of this graph. So I do an intersection over here, and I find out that x is 6 and the y is 48.67 there. What is friends? Which variable was the friends? The friends were the x's, so it is 6 friends that he invites or that go with him for his birthday. 6 friends would be the answer for this one.